Marvel now is unleashing a whole bunch of new number ones, but are they enough to unseat the stellar DC Rebirth titles? Let's take a look at what's coming out. What's up, everybody? I'm Stan, and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. This is Preview Picks, where I go over the books that are coming out on Wednesday and give you an idea what they're all about and whether there's something you should be looking for. To start off with, we're going to go with independent titles, and the first one I'm going to talk about is from Black Mask, and that's Black #1. So evidently this book made waves on Kickstarter when it was funded through the roof, and really what it comes down to is a simple premise. What if black people were the only people to have superpowers? So, the author's going to be taking this topic and turning it on its ear, and it seems like it's a pretty controversial book to open with, but I can't think of a more appropriate time for something like this to come out. And then we go into Image. So Image is starting off with Cannibal #1, which is about a town in the Everglades, which is dealing with a cannibalistic, parasitic, virusy kind of thing. It's from a best-selling author, however, I'm just not sure how this premise is going to play off. I feel a little zombie fatigue myself, but it's definitely something that people that are interested in should check out. Also, we have Green Valley #1, written by Max Landis of Superman American Alien fame, and based on what he did with that particular book, I can't wait to see what he does sinking his teeth into his own subject material. Definitely a book that I'm going to be on the lookout for. Another book I'm going to be looking out for, though, is also Moonshine #1 by Brian Azzarello. So after, basically dominating with 100 bullets and then getting picked by Frank Miller to help out with Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, we see Azzarello going to Moonshine, which is about, bootlegging in the South back in a period piece. What you want to be on the lookout with this one is the Frank Miller variant cover, which is going to be shipping as well. Now that we're done with the independent books, we're going to make our way over to Marvel, where we're going to talk about Amazing Spider-Man issue number 19. So this is the last book, I believe, in Before Dead No More, because the Clone Conspiracy starts next week. And the big thing is that this book is going to be $4.99, so it must be an oversized kind of issue, trying to stuff everything in before that crossover event starts. Then we're going to Doctor Strange #12, which is taking off from the ends of the Last Days of Magic, where we see a drastically depowered Doctor Strange trying to take on some of his oldest villains. So this is definitely one to check out if you're a fan of the Doctor Strange book that Jason Aaron was writing before. We're also going to have Invincible Iron Man 14, and I know I've probably said this for the last 2 months, but is this the end of Tony Stark's Iron Man? God, I hope so, because Riri Williams has been waiting in the wings, and it looks like it's going to focus on the transition between Tony Stark to Riri as the new Invincible Iron Man. I wonder how much of Civil War II it's going to spoil, because Civil War II is delayed like nobody's business. Then we get into all new, all different Wolverine #13, which starts Enemy of the State #2, which is hopefully not set up by the conflict in Civil War II. I'm really hoping that it's going to be some sort of new conflict that Laura Kinney is somehow involved in. It's going to cause her to go on the run, because if it's from Civil War II, it's just going to be a very weak storyline. There are also a bunch of new #1s coming out from Marvel, like Cage #1, which is part of a 4-part mini. This is created by the creator from Dexter's Laboratory and Samurai Jack, so the art style should be familiar and yet unique at the same time, and definitely something that some people are looking out for. Champions #1 is also going to be the grouping of a new teen-style team, which includes Incredible Hulk, Viv, Cyclops, Miss Marvel, Miles Morales as Spider-Man. They're going to be a younger group of heroes that are focused on providing more help to the actual world itself. You've also got some books like Deadpool Back in Black, which is a take on the Super Secret Wars, which I have almost no interest in, just because I'm a little fatigued with Deadpool right now. But then you've also got books like Death of X #1, which is the big crossover series, which is going to see the Inhumans and the X-Men finally come into conflict over this Terrigen mist cloud that's sterilizing and destroying mutant life everywhere. So that should be pretty interesting. And the book that I want to check out for there is Mike Choi's variant. First one shows, Black Bolt holding a magic that's incapacitated. It looks pretty awesome. Definitely one I'm picking up. Then we've got Jessica Jones #1, which is a continuation with the original creative team from the first Alias series, so that's going to be something to check out as well. Lastly, we're going to stop into DC, where we're going to hit Justice League #6. This is a book that I stopped picking up, but I'm really enticed by what the challenges they're going to face in this book, like Jessica asking the Flash on a date. Wow. We also have Harley Quinn #5, which is kind of taking on her character, another book that I'm not particularly interested in. And then Green Lanterns #8, which is another one where Jessica's going to face her greatest challenge, and this is Halloween. It's all about Jessica Cruz and challenges, and when you're lumping these books together, I just don't really feel all that connected with those books. However, A book that I'm really kind of interested in is Batman number 8, which is the fourth part of the Night of the Monster Men series, and based on the way things are going, I really hope that we're going to get a little bit more depth and we're going to start interacting with Hugo Strange, and the same thing can be said for Nightwing number 6. And the cover for Nightwing number 6 is indicative of what happened in Detective Comics and how we're going to combat that conflict that's definitely going to arise. Next we go on to Superman number 8, which just finished a great one-shot story, and we get the Superman-Superboy team-up against dinosaurs. Cool, I'm in. I'm there for that one. Not to be outdone by Marvel, we have DC with a bunch of new number ones as well, like Shade the Changing Girl from the new Young Animal imprint. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of visual and storytelling style gets brought to this character, and definitely one you should be checking out just to see where the direction of that imprint is going. We also have the return of Midnighter and Apollo, which is issue 1 of a 6-part miniseries that's helmed by Steve Orlando, and that's the return of these characters by popular demand. So you get what you want from DC over there, so that's always nice. Next we have Death of Hawkman number 1, which is part of a 6-part miniseries, and this is written by Mark Andreyko, who you've probably seen on Screen Junkies and places like that, so that's pretty cool. I'm interested to see what he kind of puts into a book. I haven't had a chance to read his other stuff. And then we're going to finish off with Dead Man in the Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to think of that title because it reads more like a Harley Quinn romance novel, some sort of pulp fiction kind of tale that's geared more towards the ladies. Dead Man in the Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love could be a really interesting 3-part mini, so I gotta put it on the list just so that you guys know it's out there. So that's it for this week's preview picks. These are the books that I have on my radar. Let me know what you're going to pick up, though, because I'm always interested to see what everybody else is reading. As always, if you like what you see, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe down there on that button and get more news, reviews, and commentary on comic books, comic book movies, comic book TV shows, and games, and anything and everything inside the world of comics.